Mike and Allison Will, I met them about 16, 18 years ago. Allison is a funeral director by trade, and by nature, funeral directors care. And with Mike and Allison coming to Norwalk and buying a company that's 102 years old, that's who they are. They're very family oriented. They work 6, 7 days a week. They'll put whatever time it is in to make things work for them. And I'm grateful for Norwalk to have them.
Norwalk is blessed to have several family-owned businesses, and Maple City Rubber is a century business here in our community, so it's very important for us. The possibility that they could leave, it would be devastating for our community. There's people who've worked there for many years, and we're very grateful to Mike and Allison Will for stepping up to the plate, purchasing this business so it not only remains in our community, but also remains a family-owned business.
I was working with Maple City Rubber probably for the last 6 months, and they were at this point where they were trying to grow and looking at different avenues on how to do that. And they were just starting to look at a new line. And so the fact that they purchased the company and they kept it in Norwalk and they continued what was already in the plans for growth really says a lot. So I'm very appreciative that they're here in Norwalk and letting Maple City Rubber expand.
Well, I think that we were, initially we looked into other businesses as well around this whole area. But when we found Maple City, it being in Norwalk really was appealing because, you know, just the sense of community that is here. And really just the people. I found working in the different jobs that I have that each community has different types of people. And you hate to say they're all like that, but they kind of seem like they maybe fall in that category of they're this type, or maybe they just strike you like that, you know, individually. But, you know, when I got to know the employees at Maple City, I don't think that, you know, Tough Techs or any of our other lines would work anywhere else. Like, they are just very loyal and proud and hardworking individuals. And I haven't really come across, you know, that many in one place. It's really astounding.
The project that many of us would recognize as the old or former Kmart property on the north side of town represents a willingness to change and to adapt to changing trends. And the use of the property is called in the industry an adaptive reuse, meaning it was not repurposed as another big box retailer, but the developer had the flexibility and the vision to be able to go out and find several uses for what once was a single purpose property.
They had a customer who needed something and truly transformed the building to suit their needs. Historically, big box buildings sit empty for a very long time. And our Kmart wasn't empty for more than a couple years, and they were able to look at different uses for it, had an end user, modified it to suit their needs, and even added docks. They also looked at the large parking lot and decided to divide that as well, welcoming one new business currently and hopefully another new business. So really appreciate their outside of the box thinking.
I remember the day I heard they purchased the former Kmart, building, I knew that was going to be good for our community. They've been able to take this, they've been able to think outside the box. At a time when box stores are closing everywhere, they had to think a little bit different, and for them to come in here and be able to bring water source into that facility, and not only that, but repurpose the parking lot so these other businesses can come in as well. We're excited about the car wash that they've allowed to be in front there, as well as we know another exciting business will be on that corner one day soon.
So now we are facing, or were facing, the decision, what should we do? Should we go and expand in Norwalk? Should we build another Feldline somewhere else, or even another company somewhere else in the US? And the decision was very clear after the good experience we had with a good workforce here in Norwalk in Ohio. And also the fact that the experience after the first installation of the first Feldline and also the molding lines was quite successful. The decision was made in Germany to grow earlier than it was foreseen here in Norwalk.
The one exciting thing about Borges, after we initiated the first plant or started the first plant, we were very excited with all the sales, and the employees were working out great. It really was a good partnership with the city and with the employees, and we really felt comfortable being in Norwalk. It was a great decision. So after we had some discussions with upper management, we decided that Norwalk would be the best place that we could expand and add another addition, which is another 150,000 square feet to the original 150,000 square feet. Part of the new addition, also Borgers has decided that we were going to bring more R&D over to North America, the US. So it's an exciting opportunity for Norwalk to expand and come up with new technology and new ways to use all this new technology that we brought over from Germany.
The 150,000 square foot addition put an awful lot of local contractors and suppliers to work. For instance, 70 Trucking supplied 9,000 tons of stone, equal to 346 truckloads. Scheid Enterprises, Marillo, moved 25,000 yards of dirt, equal to 1,800 truckloads. Erie Blacktop did the asphalt, and they placed 50,000 square foot of asphalt. William Dow Concrete delivered all the concrete, 4,000 yards. It takes about 444 loads of concrete to deliver that quantity. And Janata and Herner built the building, which at times had up to 30 employees, approximately 15,000 man hours on this project.
Well, when Norwalk first heard about Borgers, it was a fantastic day for us, and for them to have a plan in 5 years to expand was exciting for us. To find out within 2 years of their opening that they would expand again within our community, it just brings new hope, new expectation into the community, just lifts everyone. Steve is involved in so many projects within this community. The first major project I knew he was involved with was the revitalization program downtown. Very instrumental in that project, and what a lovely downtown we have. Steve's also involved with many projects that people walk by and they stand back in awe of and never even realize that he's been part of that project. What he did for NEDC and the facilities that we have downtown, it's just incredible. And I personally want to thank Steve for pushing the envelope.
Whenever I meet new people that have moved to town or visitors to our community, invariably they'll comment on what a beautiful downtown we have. And that's due in a large part to Steve's efforts. He was a prime mover in the revitalization of Main Street, and that's created an environment where businesses are doing well. We've got all the storefronts are full, and it presents a vital downtown that a lot of other communities envy. And that's Steve's legacy will far outlive he or I or all of us. The town will be forever changed, and kudos to Steve for the hard work he put in that effort.
When I first joined the team at NEDC, I was familiar with Stephen Zygo because I knew that he was a respected architect here within the community. What I did not know was that Stephen had been a founding member of the NCDC and of the NEDC itself. Had it not been for the guidance of Steve and a handful of others, this organization might not exist at all. And it's fitting that the NEDC slogan is where tradition meets innovation, because Steve has always had a heart for tradition and for the history of this great city, while also having an eye for innovative ways that we can utilize the pre-existing buildings and adapt to the times.
Over the years, they've continued to expand here, and we came to a crossroads where they had the opportunity to go somewhere else. So we worked very hard with Norwalk Economic Development, the community, and the great folks at New Horizons to assure that we were able to do this project here. They were able to do this project here, which means not only do we retain jobs here, but also there's a possibility for future expansion here, and that's always good for our community.
We're able to put together a good package for them, and they chose Norwalk, which means that then any future growth with New Horizons probably will be located in Norwalk with an additional line, since all of the supplies and the freezer will be here.
So when your major customer comes to you and says that they're going to make a decision that affects your entire logistics model, it really puts a lot on the table for business owners. And we spent a lot of time trying to decide how we would handle it and what we would do in order to make it a win for us, a successful change. With that, we knew that we needed to add a freezer to our facility, slightly larger than what we have today, and with that would come job opportunity as well. And we're all about that, growing our business, expanding what we do, and using the resources that are at our disposal. We have had wonderful success and experience in Norwalk, and to continue to grow with Norwalk made all the sense in the world. The support that we get from the Norwalk Economic Development Council, from local leaders and support staff, even what we have been able to string from our HR director at the present time has been invaluable, and we've done it for years, and it was just the right decision to continue here in Norwalk.